Trader Mayne, I see you. I'm making you the presenter now. Hope you got a note from Mr. TA for being a little bit tardy here today. Thank you for taking time out of your day, buddy, and welcome to F.A.C.E.
No worries. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, it's great to have you, Mayne. I want to talk about the markets with you, but I'd like to start off with how you broke into the trading business and possibly what you were doing before. So why don't you tell us a little bit how it was for you at the beginning of your journey?
Of course. So I got into trading. It would have been in 2012, I guess. Was
Okay.
initially when I was introduced to, cryptocurrency, um, Bitcoin, things like that. So I got in, as many do, by a friend telling me about what crypto was, asking me to invest in this magic internet money. So initially I had, my doubts and my trepidations. The guy who actually got me into the space was a guy who would always come at me with these like weird pyramid schemes. Um,
Okay.
so I had some doubts initially, obviously,
Right.
and I didn't take him seriously right off the bat. But it wasn't until about 2013 when the market really started to go on its first bull run, for lack of a better term, towards $1,000 or whatever it was. That's when I started paying more attention. I joined Twitter, and I would basically buy any sort of coin that anyone would talk to me about. Anyone would post on Twitter, hey, here, buy this altcoin or whatever it is. I was, completely a uneducated investor. I was just kind of going off of the news and what people were telling me online to buy, and I kind of learned the hard way. So I took a lot of licks. I lost a lot of money, and I think that was the best learning experience for me, was kind of getting in there and just going through a market cycle, more than anything, an accelerated one at that, where I was, kind of eaten alive, not really knowing how to short the market. Once the things turned around, and the market actually started going down kind of in the start of 2014, I lost almost everything I had invested in the space at the time.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And that kind of started me on my journey of learning. Was like, okay, obviously there's money to be made here. This is something I'm interested in. Let's learn how to do it properly. So in 2014, 2015, 2016, that's when I kind of began my education. I was, joining trading groups. I was joining webinars. I was going to like trading live conferences, etc. And then I found some mentors, ICT, Michael Huddleston being one of them.
Oh, I've interviewed Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love Michael. I mean, that was probably one of my biggest influences in my trading style. For those who know me, I use a lot of order blocks and price action. Most of that I derived from Michael. I've also done, Tom Dante's webinars. I've done Chris Laurie's stuff. I know you've had Trader SZ on here before. I've studied his material as well. And I
And
really
Chris
kind
Laurie.
of cut my teeth.
I
and
tell you what,
started
try and
learning
name someone I haven't interviewed.
you've
Right.
kind of got the gambit of people, right? So
Yeah. You know what? I just want to interject something here, is that it's amazing to me, the story I heard that you just told us, because you said it was a great lesson, because uh, you can't learn experience, right? It only comes with the passing of time and living through things and stuff and adversity and being persistent. So, congratulations on, getting, sometimes in trading careers, you not only get punched in the face, sometimes you have to get up off the canvas to fight again. So you're a warrior, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of things that I tell people who are new is, losing money is part of the journey, unfortunately. Um, a lot of people will start trading in a demo account, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I definitely think using a demo account, especially if done properly, can be a good learning ground for people. But the game completely changes when there's actual money involved. Um, you can have a system that you figured out and you're trading your demo money and you're growing it, but then when you're actually putting real money on the line, it's your money. It changes psychologically.
Yeah, it's in your head.
There's just no two ways about it. You have real money on the line. It changes the game. And so to me, my best learning really did happen, when I was losing. Obviously I was smart about it once I kind of figured out what I was doing and I learned about risk management and I would mitigate those losses. But at the end of the day, you do have to, be okay um, building up that thick skin and that mental toughness, because to be successful, at least in my opinion, trading, you have to kind of be emotionless. So to me, the way I always try to describe it to people, when I enter the trade, any trade, the money's gone. It's already gone. It's not. Is it going to come back worth twice as much as what I originally put in, perhaps? Or if I'm risking $100 on the trade, that $100 is gone. So if I get stopped out, it's not a big deal. And a very common thing you see in new traders is that emotion. So when there's money involved, let's say the trade starts going their way, they're adjusting their stop to break even almost instantly. Or they're taking profit very early. Or if it's in the red slightly, they cut the trade, right away, only to come back and see that, it's gone to their target, but, they get nervous. So, that emotional hurdle, that's one that took years for me to really kind of develop the thick skin that it takes. I mean, this is a nasty business. I mean, to be able to do it for a long period of time, losing money just is part of the process now for me. It's not even, something I think about, whereas, 5-6 years ago, it was all you think about. So, it's a tough time in the cryptocurrency market, especially right now. But for those people that are still in it, still grinding, still trying to improve, you're doing yourself a big favor for the next, potential market cycle.
Okay, do you think that there's been enough bloodletting with Bitcoin down over 80% and Litecoin and Ethereum 90%? And actually, they all seem to be carving out higher lows from the January low, at least so far. Is this still the main asset class that you trade, or do you take your trading to other instruments?
So I trade a lot of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. I don't really touch any of the other altcoins, outside of a very rare occasion, just for liquidity. The volatility in them can be insane. The manipulation that goes on some of these pairs on sites like BitMEX with these, 10% wicks. I just have no interest in that. I actually probably say I trade more Forex than I do crypto, but crypto is, what's popular. Crypto is what gets interaction on my Twitter page. So I do put a focus on that because it is what people want to trade. It's funny. I feel like because a lot of people made a lot of money on crypto, even if they've lost that money now, there's an emotional attachment to it. So they
Yeah.
want to trade it. They want that feeling of, getting rich quick again. It's a lot of gamblers that get attracted to cryptocurrency is one thing I find. A lot of people come from poker. A lot of people have no risk management because they came in, and if you bought anything in September of 2017, you almost assuredly made money, right? So I understand why people are addicted to it, but I mean, the market's been going down for a year now. This does look like a potential first higher low. From all of the technicals I have, if we are going to bounce, to me, this is where it's got to happen. So I don't think it's going to be this V bottom reversal. So I mean, if you compare this to any other market cycle, like gold, for example, right? I mean, which took 20 years to complete this kind of a market cycle. This is looking close to bottoming out. I mean, we're definitely a lot closer to the bottom than we are the top. So, for new investors, I definitely say, listen, the time to short the market is not now, unless you know what you're doing. You should either be sitting on the sidelines or slowly be starting to scale in to the cryptos that you like long term. But I do think we're going to have a little bit more prolonged sideways. I think a lot of the down movement has happened. We could drop another 50% from here. If we do lose this kind of floor that we're on, I do think we can go to, $1,800 to $2,400, which is a big drop. But, if you start buying in at 3,000 and you're getting in on the way down as well, and we do eventually go through all-time high again, you're not going to be too concerned that, some of your buys were at 3,500 and some were at 2,500. You're just going to look like a genius for getting in that early if it goes to 20,000 again, right? So,
are you in the U.S., Mayne?
I'm in Canada, so I'm on the west coast of Canada. I'm in Vancouver.
Okay. Because I'm curious where you trade and what exchanges you trust that you would leave balances with.
Sure.
When you're not in a trade.
So for Forex, I use Oanda.
Okay. I'm talking crypto.
For crypto, I mean, I have a small amount of money on BitMEX, not a lot.
Okay.
I use the leverage there as most people don't understand leverage. Part of what leverage is used for is to reduce that counterparty risk, right? You don't have to leave 10 Bitcoins on BitMEX to trade it. You can, leave less than that and use leverage to, still control a significant position. I use
how about for U.S. investors that are pretty limited on the FX side? Are they also limited on the crypto side for where they could establish accounts?
I know that BitMEX has banned U.S. accounts, is my understanding. So I do know a lot of people use VPNs to access BitMEX and trade it anyways. The risk with that is you will get a message from BitMEX if for some reason your VPN doesn't work or they find out you're connecting from the States, saying that they're going to shut down your account. You have like a few days to get your money off of there. I know there's an option called Deribit, like DERIBIT. I haven't personally used it, but I've been told by several people that it's pretty good. It offers BTC, USD perpetual swaps, Ethereum perpetual swaps. It also has futures contracts. So it's another option. I don't know if the liquidity is as good as BitMEX, but for most people who I don't think are trading massive size anyways, it's probably fine.
Okay, and so you say you trade a lot of FX. We have the Fed here today, Mayne. Any view on the dollar or any currencies in particular you're looking to react to the Fed on today?
So personally, on a day like today, I wouldn't be trading. Anytime there's
I'm with you. Red events, you step aside.
Yeah, there's major announcements, and it's funny, I get a lot of people that say, oh, it's non-farm payroll today, I'm going to try and catch a quick 100-pip move one way, only to get stopped out before it rips in their direction anyways. So personally, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I had a guy come up to me once, Mayne, and say, I got long euro.
Yeah.
Right, the number came in weak, and the euro rallied 100 pips, and I got out, and I said, "Good guess."
Well, exactly. You're flipping a coin, right?
It's binary roulette.
It's completely random in that instance. It's no different than when like a crypto exchange goes under maintenance. People are like, oh, is there going to be some huge pump that's happening? Maybe I should enter a long or a short. And I'm like, why even bother? Why not just wait? There's so many trading days in the year. Do you need to trade on this exact day? So right now, I'm long-term bearish on Euro USD, and I'm long gold and silver. I've been long gold since about 1180 back in November. And I'm still targeting higher prices. I mean, we came into what I saw here in this kind of pink area. Just gonna delete these here. I thought we might have some sort of pullback from this kind of weekly resistance area here, and we
Yeah.
consolidated under and absolutely nuked right through. So I mean, gold looks bullish to me. So any sort of pullback, I would be looking to add to my position, pull back into the
Okay.
high 1290s. And I think we're going to clear out this high. I mean, I think on the weekly, it's very clear where gold wants to go. Um,
Where?
I think it wants to go here. So I think we will see 1350 on gold here in the near future.
Okay.
Um, So I've been long this thing. I posted this one on Twitter. When I longed it, I told everyone I got in long on this pullback here. And I told everyone this is kind of my final target, and I've been scaling off on the way up. I scaled off a good chunk of my portion of my position here, but I would look to re-add on some sort of pullback to this reddish block here, targeting these highs.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
So why do you think it's going to stop there? Any reason that was your target, just a previous supply zone, or
yeah, so I mean, to
what's it?
me,
Okay.
the ICT terminology would be like equal highs essentially. I mean, obviously
Uh,
you have these kind of wicks here, but to me this looks like just a major swing where there's going to be liquidity, and it's a level that was previously capped in price, basically, right? So if you have
yeah.
like a rectangle kind of idea from here, to me it's going to come up and test this level. I don't really see much resistance now that it is through here. To me, this move up should be relatively smooth and quick. And I think a lot of the news agencies and stuff have been bearish, like CNBC, etc.,
Yeah.
have been bearish on gold, and so usually to me that's a great counter. Um,
Right.
so I'm expecting us to come up and test 1350. I think I'm pretty confident in that target on gold. My macro term on Euro USD is bearish. I see a lot of people who are bullish on it. I am bearish. I think this structure to me looks like it wants to break down. I don't think there's a lot of support if we lose this low here.
Where would your next level come in at the lows?
I think on the weekly chart we could come down towards parity, which is crazy to think.
It's not
But
great. There are a lot of people that think that could happen still. You're
yeah,
not, no one's going to institutionalize you for saying parity.
yeah, exactly. So I mean that's kind of my long term. I have an idea posted on my trading view from back in the spring where I've kind of targeted basically from like 1.18 all the way down to parity, and I definitely think that's kind of my long term target for Euro USD. Overall bearish. Euro CAD, I finally think this run is over. I think we're going to be heading back down to at least like 1.31 in the near term,
Okay.
and then hopefully lower. I mean, this has been on an absolute rip, and I think a lot of people were expecting it to just keep going. I had people mentioning that the dollar
Because of
CAD.
crude oil. Because of crude oil.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
going to go into the 20s again. So, being from Vancouver, I could see you're probably, had a lot of contact, or it's kind of a natural resource type of, the Vancouver exchanges there and stuff. So you do probably follow commodity markets as well because that's where you live.
I do. And so the nature of my business. So I trade quite a bit, but I don't actually trade full time anymore. I traded full time for a couple of years, but then I actually started a recruitment company in 2016 with a few friends I went to university with. Um, and I've been building that business for a few years now. And one of the things, that we have to watch is, the industries. And, back when I was doing recruitment before I even started the company, I did all my work in Alberta. right, in oil and gas. And so
Yeah.
when that market kind of fell apart, we had to shift into, manufacturing or tech or IT or what have you. So it's always good to kind of have your finger on the pulse and to pay attention. And, being from Canada, this is, a driving force in our economy, right? So
How are things looking up there? Is the housing market in Vancouver still hot with
it's it's
Chinese money?
it's a little stagnant, and almost dipping a little bit, which is good. I guess it had to slow down. They did implement some new laws about like vacancy, because basically what you had happening is a lot of Chinese money coming into the city, buying up every apartment, that
Right.
was put up for sale, and then no one lives in it. And it was just artificially kind of driving the prices up. So, I had a friend who I was helping, go look at places, and I think the place was listed at 680,000, and this is for like a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom,
Right.
tiny ass apartment, which is
Yeah.
just insane. And I think it was listed for 680. I think he offered 710, and you only get to make one offer when you're buying a house. It's not like you get to come back and counter. You get to put in your offer, and then I think it got bought for like 750. Like they were just buying everything up here. So they have put in some new laws. I think this helped a bit. I do expect the market to kind of take a dip. I'm expecting the economy as a whole to drop. I do think that this relief rally on the stock market is coming to an end. This is kind
What
of
are
the
your level?
area.
What are your level? Okay, you're showing us now. Okay,
This
cool.
is kind of the area where I'm expecting things to slow down. If I can get this a little more precise here. So the way I would watch this level is really. What do I want to do here?
27.15.
So this is the high of this zone, 27.15 here.
Yeah.
Ideally, I don't want to see too many weeks closing above the middle of this level here. So it's already kind of double topped here.
Yeah. So we could push through it, but not close above it
I
on
would like to
S&Ps.
see the monthly continue to close below here. So if we have some sort of wick up, sure. But I mean, this relief rally, I think, caught a lot of people out, right, with their pants down. Because
Okay.
I go on Twitter, I don't know,
Yeah.
I guess what would this be, a month ago or 3 weeks ago? Everyone said the world was collapsing, right?
Right.
So I think Trump called it a glitch. I think it's more than a glitch, but I don't think things look good. I do think we will run back through this low and potentially lower.
What a great interview. The best way for people to follow you and get to know you or hang out with you, what would that be, Mayne? Besides
Yeah.
your
So
besides Twitter.
I spend a lot of time on crypto Twitter, and then I also have a Discord community that I run with a couple other guys. I think you've had a
Yeah, Mr.
technical
TA. Yeah.
Mr. TA on here. So I
Yeah.
run a Discord community with him and another guy named Scarface. So feel free to
Oh,
DM me on
Al
Twitter to
Pacino.
get. Yeah, Al Pacino, exactly, the one and only. Before he went crazy,
Yeah.
back when he was still a good actor. So follow me on Twitter. Feel free to DM me. As much as my account has grown exponentially, I think I had 900 followers in April, and now I have like 35,000. It's crazy how much it's grown. But I mean, I still remember what it was like to be new and learning. One of the reasons I got on Twitter to share what I've learned is because I remember when I was learning, there was so much shit online. I didn't know where to begin, right? I didn't
Yeah.
really know what was good, what was not. I messed around with indicators. I was on YouTube, and I would just, there's so much information. It's almost daunting in a way that you don't even want to start. So part of my mission when I kind of joined the site was to just share free information, point people in the right direction and say, hey, you can learn to do this. It's not going to be easy. Anyone who's telling you you're going to get rich quick and it's not hard is lying to you, and they're misleading you. It is gonna be hard, but there's free information out there. There's plenty of good teachers and mentors. You just got to find them. And so that was kind of my goal, is to just, show people, hey, so if you join my free Discord, anyone can message me on Twitter. I'm happy to invite you. Join my free Discord. I have tons of educational content posted on there for you guys to check out, videos that will teach you from the very basics of, marking up support and resistance, to the much more advanced, kind of actually entering and executing trades and, analyzing the markets on a macro level.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you being with here. It was great meeting you. My trading warrior brother, hope you have a great 2019. And thanks for sharing some of your market views and methodology and naming some familiar names during the interview, Mayne. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, good hunting, buddy. Everyone, that's a wrap for today. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See you in members chat for the Fed later today. And tomorrow I'll be having Tracy at Shy Girl. So I'll see everyone on Thursday. You're very welcome, Alexandros. You're welcome, Tom. Thanks again, Mayne. And that's a wrap. Adios.